Hey, Joe at Fabspeed Motorsports USA. It's 2021. Really excited to talk about our air-cooled Porsche Cup car airboxes that I developed over 20 years ago and how we're still stoked about Porsche air-cooled and water-cooled cars. A little bit of background. In 1990 to 94, Porsche in the Formula One events had a 964 Cup car. So it was a regular old 911, and what they did, and the engines were sealed, is they took a butter salt. This is the air box that goes on those cars, okay? One little snorkel like you're breathing through it. They took an air saw and they cut away all this and threw it in the trash. Porsche said it's worth 6 to 7 horsepower on those 964 cars that were racing, all-out race car that were on the track. And what we did is we replicated that out of carbon fiber, foam material, and the car picks up 6 to 7 horsepower on that car. Then we did it for the 3.2 Carrera. Why take your air-cooled airbox and punch a hole through it when you can buy a faux carbon fiber piece that snaps in using the original fasteners or the fasteners we give you? All works, all the way across the board. Totally psyched about Porsche air-cooled. Anyway, here's my 95 993. Used what we learned before. I did a lot of club racing, driver's ed, and here's the factory airbox and all normally aspirated 993s. And they even use the same airbox on the twin turbo with a little adapter. So here's your airbox, and I took an air saw to my airbox and cut a hole in it, boom. Picked up 8 horsepower with a good air filter, or this car is a 3.8, picks up close to 10. That's usable horsepower. Some of you might say, well, car's gonna breathe hot air in there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not. In fact, just to let you know how serious we are and we care about it, we removed this piece, made this out of aluminum, and when I was doing driver's eds at club racing, going 160 miles an hour, poking on the bowl, I actually put screws in here, which are still here, and I made ductwork, and on this car, I actually put that on there, made hoses that went in to both sides, I can still feel it here, and going down the straightaway, the air would come down over the roof and go through here. This is basically a 993 rear cup car wing or a 993 RS Club Sport. And I force fed the air into the air box. Car didn't pick up any power. It was doing too much work. It's almost like a deviated septum. So all the people that say the car needs cold air, this engine fan is pulling in so much air, because that's the only way to cool the engine, and the air is coming through here on regular street cars, that it wants to have, the air wants to take the path to least resistance. So we proved it, that this works, but why butcher your airbox? So we make these faux carbon fiber pieces. You reuse these factory speed clips, just remove them from the back. We have one installed on the car, works like a charm. On my big 3.8 built by Andal Porsche Motorsports by Dieter Inzenhofer, there's 10 horsepower right there with a BMC filter. And you're picking up 8 with a regular old street car, but it's enhanced if you have an exhaust on the car. If you don't put an exhaust on the car and you put that on your car, you're still gonna pick up about 6 horsepower. But what's interesting, you'll get some induction roar and induction sound. It sounds like you even changed out the mufflers. Anyway, Fabspeed Motorsports USA, your Porsche air-cooled and water-cooled experts with over 27 years of experience. And you can obviously tell I'm really passionate about air-cooled cars and then all the new water-cooled cars. If you pan around the building, I even bought a 718 GT4. So we have ample time to develop the world's finest water-cooled products. And I've got a 2022 Python Green GT3 coming, because we want to have time to deliver to the Porsche faithful worldwide the finest products, bar none.